Okay, so you've seen this a million times, right? A bird just chilling on a high voltage power line, completely unfazed. Have you ever really stopped to think about that? I mean, how is that even possible? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. It really is a classic question, and the answer is all about a fundamental law of physics. But don't worry, to really get it, we're going to start with a simple, but honestly, a brilliant analogy. So, to get a handle on how electricity works, we first have to understand the basic concept of flow. And the absolute best way to do that is with something we all know really, really well: water. Imagine you've got two glasses, side by side, filled with the exact same amount of water. Now, let's say we connect them near the bottom with a small pipe. What happens? Nothing. The water just sits there. Because there's no difference between the two sides, the water has no reason to go anywhere. It's in perfect balance. But what happens if we mess with that balance? Let's pour more water into one of the glasses. All of a sudden, we've created a high side and a low side. And now what happens? Well, nature wants to find that balance again. So the water immediately starts flowing from the high glass to the low one until they're both equal again. And that right there, that's the whole secret. For anything to flow, you have to have a difference. You need a high point, a low point, and some kind of path connecting them. Just remember that. Okay, now let's take that simple idea and connect it back to electricity. Because that exact same principle, the need for a difference, is what makes electric current move through wires. Think of it this way. The difference in the water level in our glasses is just like a difference in what we can call electrical pressure. And this pressure is the force that pushes an electric current to flow, and it always moves from a point of high pressure to a point of low pressure. Now, in physics, this has a name. It's called potential difference. It's basically the engine that drives all electricity. If you don't have a potential difference, the current has absolutely no motivation to move. It's the why behind every single electrical circuit. So, with that idea of potential difference locked in, let's look at why those same power lines are so incredibly dangerous for a person. Okay, so when a person touches a live wire, they're making contact with a point of extremely high electrical potential. That's our full glass. At the very same time, their feet are planted on the ground, which has basically zero electrical potential. That's our empty glass. You see what just happened? They've connected a very high point to a very low point. By doing that, their body has just become the perfect path. It's the pipe between the two glasses. And all that electrical current sees this new, easy path, and it rushes from that high potential wire through their body and down to the zero potential ground. That massive, sudden flow is the electric shock. So then, how in the world does our little bird avoid that exact same fate? Well, the secret is all about the path, or more accurately, the lack of a better one. Let's compare them. The human creates a path from the wire down to the ground. That's a huge potential difference. The bird, on the other hand, has both of its feet on the same exact wire, so both of its feet are at the same extremely high potential. There's no high point and low point, it's just high and high. It's like putting both ends of the pipe into the same full glass of water. There's just nowhere for the current to go. And this all comes down to one simple, kind of elegant rule that electricity always, and I mean always, follows. It's really that simple. You could almost say that electricity is fundamentally lazy. It's not going to take a detour if it doesn't have to. It's always going to take the path of least resistance. So for the current that's already flowing through that power line, the copper wire is like a giant wide-open highway. The bird's body, by comparison, is like a bumpy, high-resistance dirt road. So why would the current ever bother to take that difficult detour through the bird, only to end up in the exact same spot on the wire? The answer is simple. It won't. It just stays on the easy path. So the bird is safe, not because of some kind of magic, but simply because it doesn't offer the electricity a better or easier path. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other elegant, unseen rules of physics are quietly shaping our world right at this very moment?